Smoking gun evidence on the Biden crime family's corruption. Iran puts out fake news to hurt Trump, and the media falls for it. Plus, tonight's pivotal presidential debate. Let's get to it. Welcome to the Buck Sexton Show, my friends. My, oh my, what a day this already is, and it's just going because we got that debate tonight, and we have so much to talk about with regard to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden. Let's just start with this. We've now gone from the Hunter Biden story about corruption, about selling influence to his access to his father. We've gone from this is blocked on social media, ostensibly because it's a smear and it's not true, right? To, well, actually, it's Russian disinformation. To, okay, it's all true, but our editorial judgment is it's not really a story. In just a little over a week, they tried for maybe a day or two there. Oh, it's a non-story because Joe Biden's not tied to it. And I said, look, if Joe Biden has no hand in any of this, Hunter being a screw-up may not be enough. But this is quite a bit different. A lot of information coming out that is real, based on this laptop, based on the communications. This is smoking gun level stuff. In a normal criminal trial, let's say, if you had the defendant's emails saying the kind of stuff that Hunter Biden's saying about a corrupt influence scheme, they'd be taking a plea deal. It'd be all over. But now we know the FBI had the laptop for a year, didn't do anything. It may have been subpoenaed, though, as part of a money laundering probe. Gee, that information never got out. What a surprise that wouldn't be leaked, something that would actually hurt a Democrat. And if you're wondering, Buck, hold on. Are they really saying that this is all not a story? That the emails coming out to suggest, to state that Joe Biden was getting a piece of this, that Hunter Biden was getting huge deals done with foreign adversary governments, okay, like China, that Hunter Biden was getting huge deals done, making enormous amounts of money, giving kickbacks to his dad, and that everybody knew what was going on here. His business partner has come forward to confirm all of this. The guy's a Navy veteran. He's just like, look, I've got to tell the truth on this one. And he's got receipts, as they say. He's got the documents. We're beyond now rumor, innuendo, speculation. We're talking cold, hard facts, my friends. That's where this Biden scandal currently is. And you have to laugh. NPR, their public editor, put this out earlier today. Why haven't you seen any stories from NPR about the New York Post Hunter Biden story? The answer they give, this is their managing editor for news, quote, "We don't want to waste our time on stories that are not really stories, and we don't want to waste the listeners' and readers' time on stories that are just pure distractions." That's right, friends. Taxpayer funded in part, NPR is taking the position now, oh, sure, you can prove everything that the New York Post has been saying from the beginning, that conservatives, Republicans have been pointing out about the Bidens going on 2 years now. You can prove this, but it's not really a story. How is this not a story? That's absurd. I mean, that's so stupid and so dishonest that it's hard to even debate it because it feels like we must be talking about somebody who's not smart enough to even understand the issues at hand. I mean, the NPR people, do they not know anything about politics? They're the political editors that are making this statement. But what you see, my friends, right now is the mainstream media engaging in an institutional mass self-immolation to protect Biden. It's hard to fathom why they would ever do this until you recognize that they view a Trump victory as an existential threat to their professional and emotional well-being. And so this is going to get much uglier, my friends. Much uglier indeed. It's stunning. I mean, of the many accomplishments Donald Trump can point to in his first 4 years, exposing the liberal mainstream media beyond any doubt as the unrepentant and reckless frauds they are, will go down in history as among the most important and useful. Shared that one on Twitter earlier today. I think folks see exactly what I mean. There's no going back for the media now. There's no, they're never going to be able to make this argument. Oh, we're just journos. Oh, we're just being honest. We're just nonpartisan here. The China component of this is stunning. I mean, the Burisma and Ukraine stuff is bad enough, but now we find out that there's information about a Chinese government payoff to the Biden family. You mean our primary, really our only geopolitical rival knew that by funneling some cash, nothing to them. I mean, the Chinese Communist Party, it's got $5-10 million bucks in the couch cushions and then some. And this is a joke to them, a pittance. They can help steer some aspect of U.S. foreign policy just by paying off the then vice president's son. The things that they've accused Trump and his family of doing, I mean, this is why the hypocrisy is so mind-blowing. What the Democrats have been accusing Trump and his family of doing for years, without evidence, unfairly maligning them, is what Joe Biden and his family, not just Hunter, also his brother, that's what they've been doing. They are accusing the other side of what they themselves are guilty of doing. China is getting away scot-free with stealing billions of dollars in intellectual property from U.S. companies and billions more with their predatory trade practices until Donald Trump steps up. But before that, they were getting away with it, and it makes so much more sense the moment you find out that the Bidens and others in our ruling class were getting beach houses, Benzes, and BMWs out of the deal. Oh, okay. Why push back on China when business is so good? Side business, that is. That's really what this is turning into. You realize that U.S. foreign policy was kind of a side hustle for the Bidens. The main event was getting cash, getting paid. It's amazing, friends. It's amazing. But this is what we're up against. This is what we were seeing. I mean, yesterday, the desperate media tried to suggest that a Rudy Giuliani hidden camera ambush for a Borat film was a big news story. But somehow Giuliani, having ironclad proof that Hunter Biden was selling access to his vice president dad, is a non-story, or it's Russian disinformation. This is all you have to know. The media can't go any lower. They have no integrity to protect. It's all over for them now in that regard. I mean, they can only fool those who wish to be fooled. They can only fool people who are either not honest enough or not smart enough for this to see the truth of what's really going on here. So many people doing excellent work on this one. Sean Davis over at the Federalist has been diving into these emails. This is from his Twitter. He writes, quote, an email to Hunter Biden's partner from a top Chinese official on July 26, 2017, shows the Chinese energy company CEFC proposed a $5 million interest-free loan to the Biden family based on their trust on the Biden family. There's a quote that he pulls. Should CEFC keep lending more to the family? Less than 2 weeks later, on August 8th, 2017, $5 million was wired from a CEFC-affiliated investment vehicle to a Delaware LLC, which spent the next year transferring nearly $4.8 million directly to Hunter Biden's firm, according to Senate investigators. Friends, this is exactly how you would engage in a access peddling, in a corrupt scheme where you are selling U.S. foreign policy for personal gain. This is exactly how you would do it. You have the negotiations. You fly to China on Air Force Two with Dad. You meet with a bunch of Chinese businessmen. Then you have them just give an interest-free loan, and they park it in a unnamed Delaware, an unknown Delaware LLC, and then that siphons off the money to your consulting firm, which you then get a piece of. I mean, it looks like money laundering to me, friends. I mean, we're going to have to look at what some of the legal experts find with these kinds of transactions, but it certainly stinks to high heaven. We know that much. These are not theories, my friends. This is all traceable, it is all provable, and it is all real. We have the evidence, and yet they're trying to pretend like this is somehow still nothing. Oh, no, we're way, way beyond that. But what I want you to be prepared for is that even though the media has been exposed as completely corrupt frauds, more so than anything else you can really think of, because this is all coming down at once right before the election, and they're doing everything they can. There's a pathetic panic that has overtaken the mainstream media. They're doing whatever they can to try to avoid talking about any of this. They're downplaying it. They're lying about it. It's only going to get worse. They've already made their choice. Their choice is Joe Biden. Really, their choice is anybody but Trump. And they will do anything in their power to make sure that happens. There is nothing that is too debased, nothing that is too fraudulent, too pathetic for the biggest news organizations, the biggest names in mainstream news, to carry the last buckets of water for Biden necessary in this election, where we know it's going to be very, very tight. We know it's going to be very close. So just be ready for this. Be ready for exactly what's going to happen here. Because, yes, the Joe and Hunter Biden corruption apparatus is even worse than I initially thought. Or at least there's much more proof of it. And the efforts to suppress it have proved that our media is depraved beyond salvation. But it's still going to be a very close election. And the libs do not care about the truth. They do not care about the Biden corruption. And so Biden can still win. Keep the pressure on, my friends, and keep pushing.
Hey, Team Buck, thank you so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you like this video, please click that little thumbs up button so then it will log as liked. And also, if you want to see more great content from The First, please click subscribe.